Whoa, what is up, my friends, and welcome to another edition of the XFL Weekend Review. I am your host, Mark Perry, editor of XFL News Hub, and on this week's show, of course, The Rock is going to be on Monday Night Football, the Manning Cast on ESPN2. Now, I thought he was going to be on at 8:45. Now he just put out a tweet saying he would be on at 9. We'll try to keep it going, and you guys let me know if he says anything or when he's on. We'll be live on the stream, and then maybe if we cut out in time, maybe we can all watch it together. We'll have to see how kind of this flows. That's the big news. Plus, we got a bunch of USFL news. We were not on last week because I ran my Disney marathon, and now I am back. I can talk all about that. I actually got a cool video that I did working with Nick on, and so we'll have to show you that in a little bit. So if you want to be part of the show, simple, email podcast at XFL News Hub with your thoughts, or record it MP3 or video on your phone. We'll play it on next week's show, or you can do old school and leave a voicemail, 888-430-7692, extension 3. Also, leave us a review on all these different platforms: Stitcher, Audible, Player FM, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and of course, Apple Podcasts. I know you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so we appreciate you guys leaving a review and spread the word. And of course, you watch XFL Weekend Review live at 8 p.m. Eastern every Monday on the YouTubes, Facebooks, Twitters, and Twitch as well. All your social media funness there. XFL Timeline. We are 396 days from XFL kickoff. June 18th, 2022 is the XFL Player Combine. Something we'll get into about The Rock, mentioning that they're a year away from. He mentioned that not too long ago. Oh, about training camps. That's right, January 9th, 2023. Remember, these all are tentative. And then February 18th, 2023, the XFL season begins. So I am back. Glad to be back, hanging out with you. Very exciting things tonight. I'm hoping, I want to get your reaction on the chat right now. What do you think The Rock is going to say? Somebody was like, oh, he's going to talk about Terramonic Tequila a bunch of times. He's going to talk about Zoa. This is not the, yes, those would be the platform, and he could mention them. I don't see any other reason why he would be on this show. And apparently this is the last Manning cast of the year that he does not mention something about the XFL. Now, maybe he goes and mentions, that training camp is a year away and that's it, or something. There's got to be something more than just that. To appear on this, it's not like he's got a movie in the pipeline. It's not like Jumanji 3 is about to come out or Black Adam is around the corner. From what I understand, I don't know, he doesn't really have much coming out in the next month or two. So to me, this is straight up XFL news. We'll get your reaction. I want to hear about that. Plus, we got other stuff that we missed over in the last week or so when I was doing the Disney Marathon. So, speaking of Disney Marathon, here's the medal that my wife and I got. It's the Disney 2022 Marathon. Apparently, I thought there's 4 running events. I thought all 4 of them had a marathon component. This one only did. I finished in just under 5 hours. It's like 4 hours and 59 minutes and 17 seconds or something. My wife finished in about 6 hours. And it was interesting. It was fun. I listened to the Markcast. I listened to music in the beginning, Markcast, then a couple nerd podcasts, and I kind of sift through some CFL podcasts, just trying to hear different things and just keep my mind off of what I'm doing, because running for 5 hours, even in Disney, is cool. But we have a nice little video of the whole experience. I figure we'll play that first, then we'll come back and talk about XFL and all the news of the week. So check this video out. All right, my friends, it is 4:30 in the morning on the day of leaving. Got to get the car ready first, but there is a lot of snow. And we're going to spend the weekend wearing our USFL, XFL, and CFL hats. See if we get anybody to recognize our hats or say anything. But before we leave, I need to shovel the driveway while my wife sleeps for an extra 10 minutes. All right, friends, we're at the airport. We made it. My wife's happy because she was able to get a Starbucks. So it is on to waiting to hopefully our flight doesn't get canceled. All right, we made it to Orlando, Florida. No snow, sunny, highs in the 70s. And we're here for a race weekend. We're about to embark and head over to ESPN Zone, the running expo, and pick up our stuff. I pretty much guarantee that I'm the only person that actually has a USFL hat at this event, potentially maybe even the state of Florida. Who knows? All right, that's a wrap. We got our race bibs. You just checked out ESPN World here at Disney. It's a really cool place. Food was great. Gluten-free burger was awesome. Cool facility. I mean, I so many cool events that happen here. The journey and the adventure continues. But if ESPN calls and wants me to do a show about the XFL, then we'll do it. You don't have to ask me twice.
Still seems so far away.
Yeah. All right, it is day 2 here at our Disney trip. This day I'll be wearing the XFL hat. So today is the chill day where we relax, just do some light, get something to eat, hang out at the resort, and don't do a lot of walking because tomorrow is the big day. We have to get up and be at the bus stop at 2:30 in the morning, and then the race starts at 5. But today we'll rock the XFL hat and see if we get any reaction from anybody today. So if CFL fans watch the XFL, does that mean they turn to the dark side?
No.
Tomorrow we make the big run, but I will say this. I wore my XFL hat. I had somebody stop me and ask me about the XFL when it was coming back, and told them that The Rock was owning it, had a nice little conversation. So people are aware of the XFL. So that was pretty cool. We got to go get up at 1:45 to get this race over with. So let's go. All right, my friends, today is the day. It is 2:29 a.m. We're walking to the bus stop. The race starts at 5 a.m. and my wife is looking really cute. For you guys, I'm 47 years old, and some of you younger guys out there, just to let you know, I used to be a binge drinker and I used to be a full-time smoker. And when I was around in my 40s, I found God and I found health and fitness. It doesn't matter when you turn things around. You can do it whenever you want. You just need to take that step, and I'm not special. You just gotta stick with it. Life's all about challenges and journeys. And a journey with you guys and podcasts and Markcast and all this stuff, doing it together and as a community. So, and I love to hear your stories about successes and things that you've done too. So it's race day, baby. Let's do it for the love of getting it done. What's up, XFL Army? We're done. Disney Marathon in the books. This was a nice little accomplishment. My wife is still running. She's a rock star. She's kind of be with me through this whole thing, thick and thin, with the XFL News Hub and the league going under and coming back, and USFL and CFL and all that stuff. My thing is, you know, I'm no different than anybody else. You can do anything you want to. Just put your mind to it and just shut up and do it. And don't listen to those negative thoughts in your head that you can't, because you can. I'm not special. I didn't know anything about football. Got involved with the XFL. I didn't know anything about personal training. Became a trainer. So all you have to do is just go do it. I'm excited about 2022 and 2023. I'm super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. So this is the way to kick off 2022. Next bling I want to be around is, you know, either a Grey Cup or a USFL championship game, and maybe get an XFL championship game. That's the next bling I want to be around. Let's go. there you have it, a little video montage of the race event, and it was cool. It was cool, lots of fun, and I'm glad I did it. I'm glad it's over. Um, and it was just it was fun. And that was kind of a trial run of what's to come with kind of content. The plan is to travel to USFL games and to XFL games and do this kind of like, while we're hanging out. And this was kind of like a trial run. Like I talked about the marathon, and why the show wasn't on. And so I was like, well, let's do something, fun with it and with the XFL. So I brought my XFL, my CFL, Hamilton Tiger Cats hat, and the USFL hat. And Disney is a very friendly place in general, and it's just everybody's just so nice and friendly. The thing is with masks, people, might not be as outgoing as they were. I mean, but no one had any masks outside. It was all inside. But yeah, so I had somebody stop me and talk about the XFL, but nothing about the USFL or the Canadian Football League. Now, I don't think a lot of Canadians might have been there, with everything going on in their country and the borders and stuff like that. But it's always just fun to take your hat out and see what happens. I'm very, blessed to be able to do this after, my dad died when he was 52 and I'm 47. And it's something that motivates me every day is to make sure that I'm as healthy as I can be and keep rocking. And I always talk about journey, and my journey is with you guys, is to do this XFL thing and see where it goes. And we're everybody in the chat room, everybody, listening to the stream on YouTube, like we're all at the beginning. Like, and if you missed out on the XFL 2.0 era and that whole build up, I mean, we have our banner on our YouTube channel that says established in January of 2018. It is now January of 2022. I've been doing this for like 4 years, with 2 different owners. So hopefully, and now we have The Rock, and so it's going to be exciting, and it's a lot of fun, and it is right around the corner, and we might even get something in the next hour. So what we're going to do is go through the XFL news and USFL news. It's some fan control stuff. Then we'll get to your social media stuff. You know how we do it. And then wrap up the show, and keep me posted in chat if The Rock is on 8:45, 9 o'clock. He just said, I think that's probably when he's gonna be on. I think the show will probably wrap before then. So yeah. So without further ado, folks, my friends, let's just get into the week or 2 weeks that was the XFL. All right, my friends.
All right, this one goes out to all. All right, this one goes out to all us football fans out there. This is big and this is exciting news, guys. I'm so excited to let you know that 1 year from today, in exactly 365 days, we will kick off our official 2023 XFL Training Camps. I'm so excited about this. I know you guys are excited too. And all month long, this month, our team of XFL executives are out there scouting the next great players. And I could tell you this, as an XFL owner and a man who has proudly put these calloused dinosaur hands in the dirt, all for the love of football, I can tell you that the XFL player will be the hardest and hungriest players in the room. So Football Nation, we are building this for you. The XFL is watching, all for the love of football. Here we go, 1 year from today.
All right, so if you didn't see, of course, the video of The Rock talking about XFL Training Camp, and he put this out in his latest Instagram video. So not only did Danny Garcia put out a message on social media when it comes to XFL Training Camps being 1 year away, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson dropped the message as well. So are you excited? Let's see this video. This Instagram post had 630,000 likes, 6,000 comments. I'm not really sure how many views this thing had. Will it tell me? I don't know. There you have it. So The Rock talking about training camp a year away. So on January 3rd, 2023 is a Tuesday. Pictures floated at about by Danny Garcia from Redbird Capital Partners meeting in October showed a Monday, January 9th, 2023. Regardless, this is the slow build towards the XFL 2023 season. At the time of the video has 1.185 million views. I'm sure that's a lot more now because that was, like a week or two ago. Also, XFL scouts this past weekend were in the Hulua Bowl in Orlando, Florida, where I just came from. And scouts were there as well. So it'll be interesting to see if the XFL has any open tryouts as they look for the next great football players. But the XFL Combine is set to start in June of 2022. It's unclear at this time if it's going to be open or invite only. In the XFL 2.0 era, it was invite only. So, and we know that the USFL is not planning on having open tryouts for their league. So then now the build-up continues. The Rock using his social media channel, Danny Garcia using hers, The Rock on CNBC talking about the XFL, and maybe what's to come when he appears on Monday Night Football. We'll just have to tune in and find out. But February is going to be a huge month of announcements for the XFL. Pep Hamilton interviews for the Panthers offensive coordinator job. So this past week, the Carolina Panthers reached out to Houston Texans to inquire about their offensive coordinator position left by former Wonder Kid Joe Brady. Hamilton, who is serving as the passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach, has been with the Texans since 2021. He was the head coach and GM of course, my XFL's DC Defenders. His stock has risen immensely over the last several years, as with Justin Herbert in LA and most recently with Davis Mills in Houston. While many foresaw Herbert as a can't-miss star, Davis Mills seemingly outperformed with not only a lack of supporting cast, but also some exterior distractions affecting the organization. Hamilton's success with Mills isn't only a success story he's had with the Stanford quarterback. And he worked with Andrew Luck. So he's been around a while. We'd love to see Hamilton, Pep Hamilton, brought into the XFL. I think his stock is too high that he could potentially be back with the Houston Texans, or maybe he gets an offensive coordinator job. But we would love to see Pep Hamilton back. He is on the market. XFL might have to, and he was a Howard guy. I believe he played quarterback at Howard. So bringing Pep Hamilton back to the XFL would be great news. He's just a hot candidate right now. We'll just have to tune in and wait. So the XFL files brand trademarks in Mexico and Canada. And I pissed some people off with this, but you got to follow along as I explain this. So trademark attorney Josh Gerben put out a following tweet regarding Washington football team's new name coming in February, which Defenders has been rumored name for the NFL franchise. Basically what he says, there is this treaty called the Paris Convention, and 178 countries signed this treaty. If a company files a trademark in one of the 178 countries, it may then file the same mark in any other country within 6 months of getting priority date from the original filing. So basically what he was saying is that what people will do is they'll file trademarks in other countries and then move them over to the United States to keep them hidden for super nerds like us. So after doing some snooping around, Jake Henry did some snooping and found the XFL had a pending trademark in Mexico. After more searching, XFL News Hub, we found another trademark in Canada. The Canadian XFL trademark date of the registration was January 19th, 2021 for the proposed use in Canada, and this trademark is active. And for what it's worth, the date filed for the application was actually June 26, 2018. The XFL did broadcast games on TSN in 2020, so this might be why this is kind of where the trademark exists. But it exists in Canada, and it's been there since probably most likely because of the games being on TSN. And I would love to find out the TSN numbers for XFL games. The Mexico date filing application was actually in November 18th, 2021, and this trademark is pending. It's got all the same thing, broadcast and merchandise and clothing, blah, 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 blah. So does this mean the XFL will be in Canada and Mexico in 2023? We'll find out in February per The Rock's announcement where he's talking about there's big announcements coming. This tells us that the XFL has a genuine interest in having their teams in these countries for months. Remember, XFL chairwoman Dani Garcia has said that the XFL has global aspirations, and it looks like Mexico and Canada could be where they start. That's where these things are. Mike Mitchell has talked about it multiple times, but apparently when I talk about it, the King Heel CFL, XFL guy or whatever. But this needs to be tied together. So I put that out there and people had an issue with it because it was like, well, that trademark is old, just trying to get clicks, typical hate speak. And then most of the time people don't even read the article because I put all the dates in there. But go back to this article. XFL job postings for Senior Director of Ticket Operations. Let's go to that article, which also came out around that same time. Tuju Master discovered this XFL job posting on Indeed. The XFL is not only looking for a controller, but a Senior Director of Ticket Operations. Then what makes this job post worth writing about is, remember, there's USFL job postings out there looking for interns and other kind of stuff. But the Senior Director of Ticket Operations will build and manage the league's ticket operations, which will oversee ticketing technology and operations for the league's teams and venues, domestically and internationally. This isn't domestic only. This is international tickets, oversee ticket technology and operations for the league's teams and venues domestically and internationally. This is the job posting. So why does that matter? Because we go back to the trademarks that they have, one already in Canada and now one in Mexico. Dani Garcia is talking, Mike Mitchell is talking, and now you have a position with the ticket operations manager that, again, will oversee ticketing technology, say that's fast 3 times, and operations for the league's teams and venues domestically and internationally. And blah, 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 ticket operation systems, full support, blah, blah, blah. So remember that. It looks like the XFL is interested in going international. Now the question is always, are they going to go international now or later? We've talked about Dani Garcia. Rumored locations are Mexico City, Toronto, and London. I've heard London as a name. The question is, will we see new teams in international locations in the new XFL 3.0 era, or is this something that they're keeping in mind down the road? We know The Rock mentioned in an interview with CNBC that there would be new teams, new cities, and more. The announcement for the new teams and locations is supposed to happen in Q1 of 2022. So something to keep in mind. I'm still not convinced that we would get anything this year. I think they're just going to try to play it safe and just go with what was already working and not really adding anything new to it. Maybe moving some things around, but The Rock did say new teams and new locations. So we're just going to have to sit and wait. But remember, you have the trademarks and then you have the job postings. Put the two pieces together, plus Mike Mitchell's reporting and Dani Garcia talking. There's definitely international aspirations for the XFL. There's no question about that. The USFL announced 4 new head coaches for their league. This was all interesting, and this happened while I was away. So 100 days before kickoff, the USFL names their first head coaches. This was before I left. And then I was gone all last week, and there was no announcements, except for it looks like Alabama is going to have that announcement soon. So this was January 6th. We're January 17th, and we've got 4 coaches. So Bart Andrews will be the coach of the Philadelphia Stars. Cool. Bart worked with the XFL, worked with the CFL. Congratulations to him. Mike Riley was part of the XFL with Seattle briefly, but never really coached there. He's supposed to be their offensive coordinator or something, but then he left for personal reasons. He's with the New Jersey Generals. Okay, cool. Then we have Todd Haley of my Tampa Bay Bandits, the best team and I liked Todd Haley, and I thought that he would have done a good job in the NFL as a head coach. I was kind of surprised it didn't work out for him. So giving him an opportunity in Tampa Bay is exciting. Todd Haley was named. And then Kevin Sumlin, the Houston Gamblers, he was also named coach. Now, during all of this stuff going on, and we had the announcement on Colin Cowherd, which, let me just say this, my friends. And I would love to in the future to have a daily sports show, and we talk about XFL, USFL, CFL, all football, and not, but come on, man. Listening to Colin Cowherd whine about Baker Mayfield. The last time I put on Colin Cowherd, when he announced the teams, he was whining about Baker Mayfield there. Is it like a analytics generated content? And this is why I think sports talk, especially on the national level, is just so terrible, because that's all it is. Aaron Rodgers and Baker Mayfield, that's all he's talking about. Like, dude, there's basketball games going on. Nothing's really going on with baseball. You can talk about soccer, like talk about anything, but just this like top level cheesy sports talk kind of thing. I grew up in New York. I grew up listening to WFAN all the time. And that was just New York stuff. And they had callers in and stuff. And that's what I like about our show, is because we're one of the few podcasts that actually, I want to interact with the audience. You guys probably know some of this stuff better than I do. So, and that's what makes it fun, and interacting with the audience and having audience members. But this other kind of sports talk show stuff is just kind of, I just find it intellectually not stimulating at all. And I would listen to it if it was good. Now, here's the thing about this situation is there was a rumor, or put out by somebody I believe worked for ESPN somewhere, that Gene Chizik was one of the names, and he was going to be the coach of the Alabama, the Birmingham Stallions. So this kind of came out, and then everybody was buzzing and had his name in there, and it had the other names too. And we were thinking on XFL News Hub with the writers and stuff is like, then Gene Chizik comes out and says, addressing the room this morning, I'm honored that the USFL is interested in me and the head coach, and we have had several discussions, although this consideration is a consideration, nothing has been finalized. Fact. So we're like, oh, okay. So were they just like trying to get him signed and he wouldn't sign, so they had to pull a different name, and they were making things as they go along? Is that why he's droning on and on and on about Baker Mayfield? Sounded like he's got like a crush on Baker Mayfield. It was so like, good dude, come on. And then it'd be like an hour later and he's talking about it again. There's a new era in sports talk coming, and it is not that. That is the boring version of it. You have Pat McAfee, who's got a good fan base. He's different and unique. This is just kind of, I just can't take it. So now, fast forward, Gene Chizik returning to Tar Heels and not as head coach in the USFL despite rumors. So now he is going to his old stomping grounds. Mac Brown, head coach of the University of North Carolina, has decided to go with Chizik for the position. He's the defensive coordinator. Now has made some statements regarding the decision and added insight to just what the heck he's been doing since his last run. So he is now back in the college football. He is going to be a defensive coordinator for the North Carolina Tar Heels. So I don't know how his name got turned. Who knows what the deal is. Looked a little egg on the face for the USFL, but not really, because technically this was a leaked thing. So the person who leaked it clearly got it wrong. But it was just interesting that, it took a while to get to this announcement. And it was very just like, hey, these are the head coaches. Spring football is going to be great. And then that's it. Fans are apprehensive about the USFL, and it's not so much as the USFL's fault per se. You have to understand that people got burned by the AAF. And I keep trying to remind myself is that the USFL is doing a slow build, not coming out of the gates like the AAF or XFL 2.0 era did, which I think maybe has to be that way. Either you're in or you're not. Slowly building it up I don't know if we'll have to see. But there's a lot of job openings and things are turning. But we're less than 100 days from kickoff for the USFL, and we've only had 4 coaches, and the official announcement of where they're playing hasn't been there yet either. Makes you concerned, but but again, that makes you concerned. Then on the other aspect, the other spectrum, you have a deal with NBC, and they're going to air the game. So NBC paid them some money to air these USFL games. And then if you look at the calendar, and Reed had posted this about the top 100 shows on television, and 75 or 78 of them were all NFL-based ones. And then you take in most of the live sports. I mean, it's like I looked at the list. It was like NCI was like the only like television show, and the rest were basically sports related. So you could see why these guys are all clamoring to get their fill in. So the USFL has that going for it. But the landscape is changing quickly for professional, like just television in general. And where this shifts, I hope that the XFL is ahead of the curve instead of behind. It will be interesting to see how that all turns out there. So we'll have to see if we get more. We should this week. My goodness. Then we'll be like less than 80 days. I mean, you got to make your coaching staff and figure out players you want. We'll have to find out. So as much as there's been negativity and concern, rightfully so, about the USFL and its direction, not having coaches yet and all this other stuff, Jim Popp was named USFL Director of Player Administration. This got a great buzz from football nerds. The USFL has named a new USFL Director of Player Administration. And it comes of no shock that the gig went to Jim Popp. Many are excited about the commencement and relaunching of the USFL, and this is just another positive step in the right direction. Popp bringing to the table loads of experience. Quote, I'm extremely passionate about football, and the opportunity to work with Fox Sports and to bring back the USFL in 2022 was an endeavor worth pursuing. We look forward to providing players a new opportunity to compete in a professional football league and giving fans everywhere the best football viewing product possible during that what is typically a period devoid of professional football. And I love, this is from Brian Woods, I love the fact that I like where the USFL schedule sits during the year. The mission statement delivered to football fans back in June and talk about words capable of launching 1,000 ships. Of course, the speaker is Brian Woods. Then we have, so basically it was announced on Octagon, the CFL legendary head coach and GM Jim Popp will be named Director of Player Administration for the USFL. So congratulations to him. Of course, to football fans, Jim Popp is no stranger. The many positions he's held in the realm of football are many and include Director of Football Operations, Vice President, General Manager, Director of Player Personnel, Assistant Head Coach, Assistant Coach, Chief of Staff, Head Coach, Advisor to the Head Coach, and now this. In '83, he played both defensive back and wide receiver before injury ended his playing days in 1986. It was then he set his sights shifting to coaching. A team he played Michigan State. Aforementioned stints in the World League of American Football, of course, the CFL with the Montreal Alouettes. Spent 20 years where he held the following all sorts of position. He also served as a head coach for the team, and he later went on to the Toronto Argos and is a 5-time Grey Cup champion, 3 with the Alouettes. And the following, this is when he was with the Alouettes. And it was 2020 when he was named consultant for the XFL, specifically for player evaluations during training camp located in Houston, Texas. It was in 2019 that he made these statements regarding the legacy, of course, in Montreal. So Jim Popp, that was a big swing and a big hit for a lot of nerds in the XFL or football circle that he was a good pick, and they were excited to have him on board. Now, remember, he's only helping out with the players and stuff. We'll see what happens with the product on the field. And I have no question, I have no concern that the product on the field will be fine. And that this is happening this year. It's the long-term thing. It's just something we're just going to have to sit back and watch. But it's coming. We should have player-type draft things and all sorts of stuff coming soon from the USFL and more announcements, for sure. Congratulations to Fan Control Football. They raised $40 million. Series A, led by Amakamuno Brands and Delphi Digital. I think they just announced today, too, their NFT stuff that they're going on. So funding to propel continued growth and expansion of FCF for seasons 2.0 and 3.0. Bored Ape Yacht Club and Gutter Cat Gang communities joined the league as the final 2 expansion teams. So the only professional sports league that empowers fans to make key decisions for their favorite teams, including blah, blah, blah. They just got $40 million. That is good. So a bunch of people jumping in on that. FCC, Fan Control Football, made its debut in February 2021 with 4 teams, lots of current NFL players. They were on Twitch. The season 1.0 saw FCF become the fastest growing live sports channel on Twitch with nearly 10 million total views, live views, and one of the top sports apps in the Apple Store, which is great. So congratulations to them. They have 4 new teams that will be part of FCF's Innovative Ballers Collective, a first-of-its-kind NFT community that will provide fans holding FCF Ballers NFTs with teams, governance rights, play-to-earn, game mechanics, and unique IRL utility and VIP experiences at the soon-to-be-revealed state-of-the-art venue in Atlanta, Georgia, which I hope to check out. The Gutter Cat Gang, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, Knights of Degen, and Team 8 Oki. I'm with the team Aoki. That's my team, I think. That's what I'm going with. I would have done Knights of the Degen, but I'm not a Tiki Barber fan. I don't know why. I do like Cynthia Freeland, but I don't know, for my days and being in New York. So we're going with Team 8 Oki. That's my team. So when we get more information about all this stuff, their 9-week season will kick off April 16th, 2022. That's also when the USFL is also kicking off. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll be covering Fan Control Football also and USFL and, of course, XFL as well. All right, my friends, we'll take a commercial break and get back to your social media stuff right after this. Stay tuned, my friends.
This week on the Markcast, when Reed says it's a jam-packed episode, he's not playing around. He's not effing around, as the kids say, or as I say. Reed, who do we got on tap?
Yeah, we have an exciting show. We have CFL teams reaching out to us to feature their players on them, like the BC Lions. We have Lucky Whitehead coming up.
Obviously, I can wear this hat. I can wear my propeller hat, and I can show up to practice with it on. But when I put my helmet on and we in between those lines, like that's a different ball game. I go into a different focus, and I'm able to switch that gear. Like I'm able to switch that.
We have, friend of me of the show, Daniel Austin. Well, we have my arch rival nemesis, Daniel Austin, joining us on the podcast. Danny, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I mean, I feel like we're over the nemesis. We were nemesis as, I don't know if that's how you pluralize nemesis, but I got nothing but respect. And honestly, I think it's so cool that you guys are down there doing what you do and supporting our league and shining a spotlight.
And then we have Paul Reese. We're talking USFL. We didn't get the head coaches that we thought we were getting, but lots of concerns, interesting thoughts, and stuff there.
It's crazy that the league has that kind of staying power, especially in the public consciousness. I mean, let's be honest about what Fox is doing here. They have no ties whatsoever to the former USFL. They believe that there is value yet in that name and in the team names. They're hoping to trade in on that nostalgia.
And of course, the name of the episode is USFL Tees. Of course, making fun of this stupid idea that the NFTs are coming to FCF.
Yeah, but we've been wondering, how is the USFL going to make money? Maybe we do some USFL tees. I think we're going to patent that, trademark that. I think we're doing the Lord's work there. We're trying to figure out how this resurrected league is going to make some money. So there you go.
Got a cliche there for your use of the Lord's work. We also got a little bit of NFL news, and also we're talking all this stuff with the XFL, podcasting about podcasting. Just wait to hear this podcast. Not ours, but this podcast we feature in our show.
A lot of stuff. We're going down the rabbit hole here. Drop me into the bathtub and wake me up. Wake me up, Leo.
It's all coming up this week on the Markcast.
All right, my friends, we are back, and let's take a look at our chat. JMO_NXT says, what's up? Jason M says, bet ESPN is announced as broadcaster and the reveal date is teased team cities. That would be fantastic if they announced. I mean, the XFL did it in kind of this grand fashion. I don't know if they need to do that anymore, especially with what going around and having this kind of big formal announcement that just having The Rock just kind of drop it. But maybe I would just like to reveal dates and some. I think that would be fantastic if we heard those. Hey, ESPN is going to be working with the XFL, and the date when we're going to start announcing teams is February blah. Just give something fans to chew on, and they'll get going. They'll be super excited about that. He says, dark horse bet is that Omaha product that will be involved with the XFL. People love the Manning cast. Maybe they will do an XFL broadcast. That's one of the things I thought of, is that maybe that's kind of what this might have been about, is about a partnership between them and the XFL, which would be cool too. It would be amazing if you got Peyton Manning or somebody, or Eli Manning, to be involved with the league too. That would be interesting. Let's see here. Richard says, I can't wait to see what The Rock has to say. Me too. Stefan K. Wonder if the CFL is watching. Should be. From Hamilton, Ontario, ex-Ticat season ticket holder. All right. I was wearing my Hamilton Tiger Cats hat out when in Disney. I was looking for people with maybe USFL or XFL or Canadian football merch. Didn't see anything yet. I'm sure they're all interested, but I would assume that the CFL already knows kind of what's going on. Andrew says, congrats on your marathon run, Mark. Thank you very much. CX Tyler says congrats, and Jason also says awesome congrats. Thank you very much. Richard says running a marathon, congratulations. Cool. Jared says, geez, I didn't know you can do marathon distance. I live in Fort Myers, Florida now, and can do over 17 miles right now. I've done a number of half marathons. That's how I started, a bunch of half marathons. And then you train. I used the Peloton app and trained up until the longest run I ever did was 20. And then you cycle down from that. And then, so you're pretty much close to being able to do it. Let's see here. Jason says, this is inspiration, man. No other way to put it. More content like that would be awesome. Yeah, this was kind of like let's do the video. Let me record it, see how it's with my camera, with my phone, see how that works. And then how would it be pieced together? Would people like it? And that's what I think we're going to do when we travel to the Grey Cup, or we travel to even an event such as I was there when they announced Pep Hamilton as the head coach of the DC Defenders. Going to that event, filming it with the camera, getting interviews, and kind of putting it all in a nice little package. That's kind of the idea that we have going forward. Marcine says, hello from Toronto. Marcine, what's up? Thanks for joining us here. Not sure if we're going to have a team in Toronto or not. I don't know what's going on with that. We'll have to see about that. That would just be craziness. Jared says, I'm aiming to do a full marathon at the end of 2022. Miami Marathon, Space Coast, Run Disney. I'm looking at it. Run Disney, fantastic job. Lots of fun. Paladin Demo says, trademark file. Oh, crap, quick. Don't give the CFL ideas for trademark bowl. Crispy Yakanon is a bunch of eyeballs. Paladin says, the sound idea for international markets is later. Build up the capital first. I agree with that, is to build the capital up first. That's why I think you don't want to go all out and do that right away. Richard says USFL needs to get its act together. I agree. I mean, We need to have coaches. But, it's a lot of negotiations. These guys are going to try to ask for more money. You have agents involved. It's this whole process. Jared says, I love the Dan Patrick show. Not a fan of Dan Patrick. Not a fan of Colin Cowherd, Mike and Golick, or whatever it used to be. Wasn't a fan of them. I'm with Reed where, the NFL morning show, the Good Morning Football. If I'm going to watch a sports talk thing, it would be that show. It's the only one I kind of like. He says, Paladin says, my local sports talk is down to earth. Jared says, I laugh when people were pissed off that they had to listen to an entire Colin Cowherd show to find out the 4 coaches of the USFL. They did the same thing with the XFL in 2020. True. Let's see. Do you think the CFL will lose lots of players to the XFL next year? No, because remember the first year the XFL came out, they didn't really lose many players. It's year 2 and year 3. That's where you got to play. If I'm a guy who played in the XFL and I have another chance to play in the CFL this season, I'm going to stay and do it. There's uncertainty when it comes to the USFL. Yes, you will get on TV. Yes, that could potentially help you. But again, their season is short. They probably won't make as much money as in people in the CFL. Stick with the CFL for a season, perhaps, and then make your way back to the XFL. But the problem is the CFL season's in November. Training camp starts. This kind of might put you out if you stay in the CFL because you're going to be playing your season all the way to November, and then you're basically going to take a week off and then get back to practicing and play another full season. So it depends on if you think you can do it. Moses says, do you think there will be 10 teams? I'm thinking they're going to stick with 8. Stick with 8. Keep it simple. Jared says, the Strava app is so great to track your distance runs and pace. It's free. Yes, I that's what I use. Javier says, when will we see Finn the dog? He's not here. He's upstairs somewhere hanging out, watching, waiting for The Rock to appear. He'll be on the show at some point. We'll get him going on there too. Stickman V says, the only big benefit I can see with adding more teams would be to sweeten the pot for gambling. This is true. All right, let's take another quick break. We'll get into your social media stuff right after this. Stay tuned, my friends.
What's up, XFL Army? If you're a fan of the XFL News Hub and you have a telephone, which I know all of you do because you're sitting there playing on your phones all the time, then why not download the XFL News Hub app? That's right, it's on iTunes. It's on Android. We have an Android version and an iPhone version of the XFL News Hub app. So what do you get? You get the latest news from XFL News Hub, the premier source of XFL news in the universe. Plus, you get push notifications when we have breaking news. You will be the first to know. You can leave a comment on some of the news right from your phone. Plus, you get this podcast on your phone as well. Remember, you can leave us reviews on the Google Play Store or iTunes. It links to other social media, our other social media accounts, and so much more. Be in the know. I know you're on your phones. People are on their phones all the time. They never get off their phones. So why not just download the XFL News Hub app on your Android or iPhone today? All you need to do is go to the Google Play Store or iTunes and just type in XFL News Hub. That's XFL News Hub. Download our app on your phone today.
All right, my friends, we are back. Let's see. Christopher Pratt on the Facebooks says, let's go XFL 2023. I'm with you there. Remember, give us a like, smash that like button, and subscribe to the channel. If you like football, then like and follow our channel. That's very simple. Just like and follow our channel if you're into football, because you got the XFL, USFL, fan control football. We cover it all. We have CFL News Hub. That covers all Canadian Football League as well as the ELF. We got you covered. We got you. Don't worry about it. We got you, all right? Relax. Relax. Let's get on to social media stuff. Now, this was an interesting thing that happened 3 days ago. Did anybody out there, and leave a message in the chat if you did or didn't, if you signed up for the XFL newsletter, did you get an email from the XFL? I did. And everywhere we asked, no one else did. So it was XFL Recap Leadership Team name. It was an email. It came from the league. And I got it. Did anybody else get it? Kane Matthew says, unfortunately, I didn't. So he didn't get it. I got it. And basically, it was a recap of the people that they hired. What was interesting about it, I believe I got it because, and I had signed up, I think 2 or 3 times. So if you signed up for the season ticket holder thing, where it asks you what's your favorite team and then something about your season ticket holder, it's in the season ticket holder section. If you signed up like 6 months ago or a year ago, that email might be out the window because I've signed up on that page like 2 or 3 times. So, and I was able to figure it out, software engineer. I know how this stuff works, where it came from. And I was able to figure out, I think that's where it came from, was season ticket holders, which is very interesting. I felt that was like and it wasn't like, somebody threw that newsletter together. It was very uniquely created for that email. Like somebody was paid to like make that into something, not just a couple cheap links, but the pages were actually unique to the email and not to the website. That makes sense. So yeah, that was really interesting. So if you've gotten that recap, you're one of the few. I got it. And to me, that was a sign of they're prepping their season ticket holders. We'll have to find out there. About Pep Hamilton, Jordan says he's done a great job with young QBs. Be nice to see him in a role like that. Yeah, I think Pep Hamilton is staying in the NFL. And about Antonio Brown connected to the USFL and Fan Control Football. His name has been out there. A lot of reaction to this. Antonio Brown is not going to US Fan Control Football. And this article, Fan Control Football even retweeted this at him. Bring him in as a coach. You might be able to do something like that. But USFL, he's not playing in any of that stuff. And he's got a lot of issues going on. And I just think he's nuclear and just stay away. And he would never play in the USFL. Maybe you could get him as an owner, coach in the Fan Control Football League. He might do that. But is he worth the hassle? I'm going to say probably not. On to, let's get to the Instagram real quick. XFL_Fanatics. So he didn't get the sign up. And he double checked that email. He didn't get it either. Let's see here about the Rocks. Russell, the Truth Seeker, awesome. He can't wait. 2023, baby. Yes, I am super excited too. And of course, the Rock appearing soon on XFL_Fanatics. I'd never thought about the Omaha and XFL teaming up. Great idea. Yes, that was part of the article. I talked about that. Fan_Phillips14 says, I'm going to say that he may say a couple of updates to announce stuff. Some people are thinking that he's going to announce the teams there, but I don't think he would be announcing teams during an NFL broadcast, but we may get a couple dates. That's what I would think. And will there be tryouts for the XFL? Brad Coyle. We don't know yet, but most likely not. On there, real quick, let's go to Twitter. Adrian has no dad. That was very depressing. I don't know if he's going to reveal anything crazy about the XFL tonight, but he did say they'd announce within the next 2 months. The XFL reposted this, so I'm very confident. That's correct. The XFL did repost him appearing. It's not like Terramana did. It was the XFL. Ken, arena fan Ken said, I don't think any major announcements, just that the XFL is coming and going to be revolutionary. I hope not. Give me something more to it than that, please. That is what I want. From last week's show, Ron Allen says the Major League Football is coming in the fall of 2020. No, Ron, that's 2022. In the fall, no. Oh, Major League Football, ML, I don't think so. Chris says, cool, USFL hat. Don't do a marathon, bro. Just watch more football. You don't need to do all that running around. It's bad for you. Chris, I'm going to get fat. I don't want to get fat. Theodore says, good luck on the marathon. DJP says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Tyrone says, Hugh Jackson is a great coach up in Grambling State. They're going to be great, but yeah, it sucks that he can't coach in the XFL. That would have been amazing. I think that's a perfect spot for him. Though he might have done well in the XFL. We don't know. James says, sorry. I didn't catch your show live, Mark. I'm a Steelers fan, so it's hard to watch Ben play his last home game. Last night, lots of people online are not understanding that coaching denying offers doesn't mean the league is failing to get off the ground. Don't understand why people take stories and run with them. But that's social media for you. Yes, social media is great sometimes. We have a great community like we do here. And then it's the best of times and it's the worst of times on social media. Isaiah says, nice job on the video, Mr. Perry. Honestly, I'm not sure what players the USFL are targeting other than young in college, maybe practice squad players in the NFL, or players like Terrell Pryor, Earl Thomas, Colin Kaepernick, Eric Reed. I don't think Earl Thomas. Tommy says, Jackson took over prestigious HBC program. He had a couple of head coaching jobs in the NFL with lousy ownership. Can't blame him for wanting to go someplace where he has total control. Yeah, I think he'll do great there. I'm excited to see what transpires for him there. Let's get to some emailers real quick, shall we? Anything going on before we get into the emailers? The Rock is now on TV. So The Rock is now on TV. Let's see what's going on there. Well, let's wrap this show up real quick. Let's see here. Unless something happens. On to the emails real quick. So The Rock was right at 9 o'clock. Let's go to this. Okay. Hoping you're doing well. I'm a coach, blah, blah, blah. Again, if you're sending me coach stuff or your player stuff, I'm just going to tell you, Fan Control Football, Hub Football. I can't help you. Paladin Demo says, more done on a Dungeon Bowl box. Completed the treasure chests, which hides the ball or a surprise bomb, and the ball when it's on the field. With the easier stuff done, time to tackle the teams. Very cool. Paladin Demo checking in with that stuff. Let's see what else we got here on the email. Mark, would like to invite you to join our group, Birmingham Stallions Fans USFL. I believe it'd be a great benefit. I believe you would be a great benefit. Good. Looking forward to seeing you on the group. Dave, thanks. Thanks for inviting me. I'll have to check it out. I am not a Facebook group person, and there are plenty of people that love Facebook groups that are on there all the time. I am not a Facebook group person. On to the USFL players getting tuition-free college stuff credit. That's really awesome. Fourth and Long says, wow, interesting. Isn't this kind of what the AF promised and failed to deliver on? Granted, it was an online school, but at least it's something, especially for players who opt out of college early to play in the league. Smart move and good PR. 100% agree with that. Tracy says, why, I'm talking about the USFL coaches. Why are you giving these teams city names when they won't be playing in those cities? We've explained that before lots and lots of times. It's because they're hub cities. They're starting slow. They're starting slow, my friends. Let's see. Just checking to make sure I'm not missing anything with The Rock. Keep me posted. Robert says, not exactly a crop of new, young, less experienced coaches that were rumored. That's true, too. That is true. I'll give you that. Jim says, hello, Mark. The Jim Monos, XFL Senior Director of Football Operations, said, we want all access. We want fantasy daily meetings, practice. We want the coaches who are ready to be mic'd up all the time. If anybody can watch XFL team meetings and practice, what's to keep upcoming opponents from seeing and hearing their strategy? No coach will go for that unless I'm missing something. That probably would happen after the game. But, yeah, I mean, they clearly would have to be cleared with the coach as to what's okay and what's not. Because you can't be like, this is our favorite play to run, and then let all the other teams know that that's your favorite play to run. They'd have to be smart about it. They would know what to do when it comes to that stuff. Patrick says, hey, happy USFL season. He's uptown. He wants to help out with Birmingham, Alabama. Again, I am not the USFL. Jim says, as always, let's see here. Still waiting, still checking. Anything? The Rock's on. XFL ball in the background. Looks like he's going to mention the XFL. Hope as he takes off his shirt, Jared says. Jason says, okay, no mention yet, but we have the ball from the Instagram reel in the background. There we go, there. And let's see. Jim says, as always, the XFL News Hub rocks. Thank you very much. On January 9th, the St. Louis Dispatch ran an article on the front page of the sports section regarding The Rock and the XFL, most likely including St. Louis Battlehawks as one of the teams in the 3.0 era. There were a couple of things I disagree with the article, i.e. the Battlehawks were the only successful franchise, and the XFL choosing to locate franchises in NFL cities made no sense to agree with that. Neither one of those are correct. The article did point out that the welcome mat is already in place at the Dome in downtown St. Louis. St. Louis Visitor Center and Convention Center was in charge of the Dome, wants the XFL back per Susan Ratcliffe. I did hear that name, Susan Ratcliffe, out there. Also noteworthy, Bill Entrikin, who heads the XFL Battlehawks official fan page, announced that the Deer Creek Bar and Grill in Maplewood, Missouri, which borders the city limits in St. Louis, is now the official home of the Battlehawks fan page. I'd like to plant that seed now and let Mark Perry's XFL News Hub know that the Deer Creek Bar and Grill would be an awesome place to do a Friday night happy hour show prior to a Saturday Battlehawks season opener. Things are starting to simmer in XFL STL. Thanks, Mark, and God bless. Jim, Battlehawks Nation. Jim, God bless to you too, and I'm there. I think that sounds like, let's see here. There we go. That sounds like fun. Is that the official, the Deer Creek Bar and Grill? Let me see what it looks like. This better not be some dump. I've had people like, oh, you should totally do your show from wherever. I'm looking it up now. This is the Deer. No, this is what I'm looking at now. I'm like, no, bro. No, but this is the Deer Creek Pub and Bistro. That's in that is a different state. Let's see here. Let's say Deer Creek Bar and Grill. Yeah, this is it. I'm all right. I'll let you guys decide for yourself if you think this is a spot. Is this the spot where we want to go? They need a new roof. But hey, Deer Creek Bar and Grill, is that the spot? I'll take it. If they got some ciders in there, or what's that? White Claw. I keep wanting to say Crack Claw or White Claw. I'm down. But you guys might need to get a new roof there. And I think that Deer Creek, is that broken? Is that little antler thing broken? I'm down, but I'm down. I'm cool with that. Let's do it. That would be a lot of fun. I cannot freaking wait. Cool. All right, my friends. Well, let's get into The Rock is on TV. I want to go check it out. And we'll let you guys go. Check out that. Enjoy the football game. We'll be back next week. Remember, if you want to be part of the show, you email podcast at XFL News Hub with your thoughts and record an MP3 or video and leave it on your phone. We'll play it on next week's show. Leave a voicemail, 888-430-7692, extension 3. Leave us a review on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Audible, Player FM, Amazon Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Leave us a review, and we will appreciate that. XFL Weekend Review is 8 p.m. Eastern every Monday. Remember to smash that like button. We got 17 likes. Let's get up to at least 30. Let's get up to at least 30 likes for this episode while we're trying to figure out what's going on with The Rock. Paladin Demos, is there any inside picks? Are you talking about the restaurant? No. Okay. Well, all right, there is. Here we go. You ready? You want to see some inside pics of... Oh, no, that's the logos, right? I kind of like their logo. I'm just being... I don't know. I'm being a snob. Sorry. All right, here you go. Here's some other pictures. We got... where is the one? And the outside looks nice. I'm down with that. Oh, wings are good. Gluten-free. Got the little moose head up here. Little moose head going on. And there's another moose. Some moose heads. But hey, that looks like a fun play. Hey, a good old bar, not like corporate or whatever. I'm down. Let's do it. Deer Creek Bar and Grill. We'll do a live show from there. That would be super fun. Just to hang out with more friends. Anyway, my friends, all right, that's it for this week. Remember, we've got USFL stuff going on. We've got XFL stuff going on. Stay tuned for all that stuff. And that's it for me, folks. Thanks for listening. God bless. Thank you for everybody congratulating me. It was a lot of fun. And man, I just can't wait to get out and start hanging with you guys. That is going to be a lot of fun. All right, my friends, that's it for me, folks. Enjoy the games. Let's see what The Rock says. That's it for me, and I will see you all later.